Vikas Sethi, a famous television actor, passed away on September 2024 while he was sleeping due to a massive cardiac arrest, and he was just 48-years old. Another television actor, Siddharth Shukla, passed away at the age of 40, again because of a cardiac arrest. Puneet Rajkumar, a leading face of Kannada cinema, also passed away due to a massive cardiac arrest at the age of 46. Sunil Grover, who is popularly known for his character Guthi, had a heart attack in the year 2022 at the age of 45, and thankfully he survived after a bypass surgery.
7-8 दिन तक तो मैंने बहुत थैंक यू कहा.
Sushmita Sen also survived a heart attack at the age of 47 after going through a successful angioplasty.
I survived a very, very big heart attack. It was massive. I had a 95% blockage in the main artery.
Every year, roughly 20 million people die worldwide because of cardiovascular diseases, and heart attack forms a significant chunk of these deaths. As per a Policy Bazaar report, the percentage of people who are below 40 years of age and are experiencing heart attack has gone up from 10 to 12 in 2020 to 15 to 20% in 2023, while 50 to 60% of the cases are from people who are between 40 to 60 years of age. Now, in order to understand why so many young people are experiencing heart attacks, we need to understand why heart attacks actually happen, why cardiovascular diseases actually happen. Because once we understand them clearly, we can take corrective actions which will help us live a much longer and a higher quality life. In very simple terms, heart attack happens when there is a blockage in our artery. And because of this blockage, our heart muscles are not able to get the oxygen and the nutrition which is required for them to function properly. And when they don't get the oxygen and the nutrition, they end up dying. Now, if the blockage impacts a large section of our heart muscles, we might have a massive heart attack and might not be able to survive. But if a small section of our heart muscles are experiencing this problem, we might be able to survive. There are broadly 3 key reasons why these blockages are happening. The first reason is high blood pressure. Imagine water running through pipes at a very high pressure. What will happen? There will be a lot of friction in the pipe. And because of the friction, some areas of the pipe will get chipped off. And after chipping, it might start rusting. The same thing happens with our heart. When some part of our arteries get chipped off, there is a formation of a scar, and this scar continues to increase in size, leading to blockages. The second factor is high blood glucose levels. High blood glucose levels damage the outer layer of our arteries, which is called endothelium. Now, this damage will result in a scar. That scar will increase in size, leading to blockages. The third factor here is high blood cholesterol. Now, if there is high amount of cholesterol in your blood, some of these cholesterol particles will get inside this endothelium, again causing a scar. The scar will gradually increase in size as the cholesterol oxidizes, leading to blockages. Now imagine all the 3 working together at the same time. High blood pressure, high glucose levels, and high cholesterol levels. The whole process will work much faster, and the heart attack will happen much earlier in life than later. Now coming to the question why young Indians are experiencing an increase in heart attack. The first reason is genetics, and this affects 30% of our population. Because of genetics, some of us might have a propensity of having higher amount of cholesterol in our system. Because of genetics, some of us might have a heart condition where our arteries become abnormally thick. And because of genetics, some of us might have a faulty electrical system in our heart. The second reason which affects a large chunk of Indian population is actually stress. And stress not only affects our heart health directly, but it also affects it indirectly. Let me explain. When we are stressed, there is an increase in the cortisol levels in our system. Because of the increase in cortisol levels, our blood pressure increases. And as I explained earlier, when the blood pressure increases, there is a formation of scar. The scar increases in size over time, leading to blockages. While that is the direct impact of stress, indirectly, in order to cope up with stress, some of us resort to smoking. What smoking does is again increase our heart rate and our blood pressure. And the nicotine which is inside these cigarettes, they also damage the endothelium layer. And what happens because of that? There's a formation of scar. The scar increases in size and you eventually have a heart attack. Another habit some of us pick up in order to manage this stress is drinking. And what the drinking does is increase your cholesterol levels. And if you're drinking heavily and frequently, it's going to affect your heart's electrical system. Alcohol also increases the blood pressure. And some of us who are not drinkers, not smokers, resort to eating a lot of tasty food outside. And most of the food that we eat outside is high in carbohydrate, is high in fats. And as we know by now that high amount of sugar, high amount of cholesterol is going to help in the formation of scars and blockages in our arteries. And besides these three coping mechanisms, the fourth coping mechanism that we have latched onto is entertainment, especially the entertainment coming at the cost of our sleep. Netflix has famously said this out loud that sleep is their biggest enemy. And scientists have proven the fact that a decrease in sleep quality and quantity affects our blood pressure levels, eventually leading to heart attacks. Basically, in order to prevent heart attacks, we need to have a strong control on our cholesterol levels, our blood glucose levels, and our blood pressure, besides staying away from smoking and drinking. Now, in order to do that, the first thing that we have to do is to measure where we stand as of now. So whether we have a history of heart disease in our family or not, what we need to do is to do regular blood checkups, preferably once in a year. Using the blood test, we assess where we stand on our fasting blood glucose levels, on our HbA1c levels, how does our lipid profiles look like, which is our HDL, our LDL. In our blood test, we should also be looking at our ApoA and ApoB levels. They are a strong predictor of heart disease. The second thing we should be doing is controlling our stress levels. In order to do that, the first thing, the easiest thing we can do is walk regularly. A recent study done on Chinese subject in Beijing proved the fact that walking regularly reduces your anxiety levels. Sleep is the best form of blood pressure medication that we all have. And in order to leverage this medication, we need to sleep for more than 7 hours consistently every single day without interruptions. Another small habit which can improve the quality of your sleep and reduce your stress levels is writing a to-do list before going to bed. And this is also backed by a study. The third thing we all can do is reduce the amount of sugar and cholesterol in our blood, which can be done by having a balanced diet. We Indians usually have a high amount of carbohydrate and fats in our diet. We can reduce some of these carbohydrates and fat and replace it with protein, which is lacking in our diet. As per WHO guideline, each of us should have at least 0.8 gram of protein per kg of body weight every single day. We should avoid trans fat and saturated fat, which is usually present in the super processed food that we are having outside. By increasing the amount of fiber in our diet through fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, we will be able to leverage our microbiome also for fighting these diseases. Hoping this helps. This is Vivek signing off. Like, subscribe, share, and take care.
I know a lot of you will stop going to the gym and say, no, but see, going to the gym didn't help her. Not good. It did help me.